Hello. I thought I'd read you a story since I'm dyeing my hair pink. This story is called Ibby's Ladder. Now, I wrote this and illustrated it, so, if you can do better, you should have told me before I published it. I'll get there. Just a second. See, 2040. Okay. In the small town of Westington Sound, there lived a little girl named Adeline Herbert Smallston. She was a very active girl. Age 7 3/4, she loved to find rocks and throw them on the street, much to the dismay of drivers going by. They'd yell, "Adeline Herbert Smallston, please stop throwing rocks on the road, man." But she'd just smile, wave, and throw another rock. Finally, her mother, Gertie, came outside and said, "Now listen to me, young lady. Your name is entirely too long. I've decided from now on, I'll just call you Ibby, okay?" Adeline Herbert Smallston smiled and said, "Okay, Ma." "And one more thing, honey." "Yes, Ma," Ibby asked. "Let's place the rocks on the side of the road from now on, okay, sweetness?" Ibby was relieved for 2 reasons. 1, that her name was now short, and 2, that her mother wasn't mad at her for throwing rocks on the road. "Yes, Ma," Ibby agreed. "Good idea, 'cause sometimes I throw so many rocks it looks like a mountain and people drive by and honk." "Yes, dear," her mother smiled and walked back into the house. One day, when Ibby was gathering more rocks in the woods near her house and not throwing them on the road, she peered through trees and gasped. She couldn't believe her eyes. It was a wooden ladder. Now, that isn't all that interesting in itself, but it was standing all by itself, sticking straight up into the clouds. "Wow!" Ibby gasped. "I wonder where this goes." And sure enough, Ibby, who never has had much patience and never holds back from anything, climbed the ladder called Curiosity. At the top of the very tall ladder, there was a cloud that was very firm, just like the ground. Ibby was about to climb up onto the cloud when she heard her mother's faint voice calling from far below. "Ibby, are you up there?" "Yes," Ibby called down. "Oh, your dinner's getting cold," her mother said quietly and sweetly. "Okay, Ma," Ibby said. Ibby's mom was the calmest mom in their town. Ibby didn't understand it sometimes and thought maybe her mom would get mad at her, but she never did. She just accepted Ibby as Ibby, no matter how strange. The thought made Ibby smile. Ibby stayed up on the cloud a few more minutes, looking around the sky. It was beautiful, so clear, so blue. Then a big bird flew over her and landed next to her. "Hi," said the bird. "Hi," said Ibby. "Why are you up here?" asked the bird. "Because I climbed the ladder," Ibby smiled. The bird smiled back. "Well, that's very interesting." "It is?" asked Ibby. "Yes, child," said the bird. "You just keep climbing those ladders you find and you'll have a happy life." With that, the bird flew away. Ibby didn't really know what the bird meant. She only knew about one ladder, and that was the one she'd just climbed. That one ladder made her happy already, so she figured that whatever the bird meant, it would be good. It wasn't until Ibby was all grown up that she finally understood what the little bird meant. Ibby climbed many ladders in her lifetime, and even though sometimes the climb was hard, she always made it to the top. Her first ladder was the ladder of elementary school, middle school, and high school. In high school, she got straight A's in science class and won a medal for being the first girl football player ever at her school. She also played the drums in the school jazz band. Wow, did they clap when she did her drum solos. She was also a cheerleader, a Let's Eat Lettuce Club president, and donated her time to worthy causes like the Save the Goats Society. Go Westington Sam Goats! After high school, Ibby went on to climb another ladder called college, where she majored in science, engineering, and goat farming. During her 4 years at college, she climbed another ladder called work. It was a summer job in the circus. Ibby's job was to climb up the outside of the circus tent and dive headfirst into a pool of mud. It was fun, but Ibby decided, rubbing her neck, that it was not good for a long-term job. After graduating with her Bachelor's of Art in Science, she climbed another ladder called graduate school. After 2 years of very hard studying, she earned a Master's of Science in Innovation. She climbed the next ladder, Innovation, in which she invented a Dumberboober, a machine that produced any food the customer wanted in under a minute or their meal was free. That invention made Ibby so wealthy, it brought her to her next ladder, generosity. Her first thought was her sweet ma back in Westington Sam. Ibby sent her a check for $3,445.26 every month from then on. She also had enough money to climb the next ladder, travel. In her many travels, she climbed another ladder called courage. She climbed Kilimanjaro, a 19,340-foot mountain in Africa. She climbed it in the winter months with only a sleeping bag, a light pink jacket, a bottle of water, a compass, a package of bubble gum, and a bag of Oreo cookies, her favorite. She traveled to a lot more countries and shook hands with 1,423,887 people. She kept track in her diary. That ladder was called humanity. One hand she shook was the hand of Prince Barfblad of Scotland. He was very handsome and very wealthy too. He had long dark hair and bright blue eyes. He lived in a big castle on a high cliff overlooking Loch Ness, where that sea monster lives. Prince Barfblad thought Ibby was the most beautiful woman he'd ever laid eyes on. And so he asked her to marry him, and she said, "Yes, duh." And that ladder was called love. Ibby was so bright and happy the day she walked down the aisle to marry Prince Barfblad. Her blue and white wedding gown glowed like the sun shining through clouds. The wedding was a huge celebration all across the land of Scotland. Ibby's mom came too, which made Ibby very happy. And the wedding feast was delicious. There were tables full of meat, vegetables, fruits, and cheese. There were tall cakes and blueberry pies and salads and chocolate-covered roses. Yummy! As the years went by in Ibby's life, there were in fact a lot of ladders she climbed. She climbed the ladder of motherhood and had 10 babies with bright blue eyes and black as night hair. She had moments of pure magic when her babies smiled, and she had the love of a good husband and a very kind mother. Her favorite ladder that she climbed, however, was the one that brought her back home to her ma and her cloud in the sky. And because Prince Barfblatt was so kind and good, he built a huge castle right next to Ibby's ladder in her hometown, right down the street from her ma. He surprised her with that gift on her 30th birthday. He promised that he and she and all their children would live there from now on. Ibby's dreams came true because of the ladders she climbed in her life. She never stopped dreaming, and she never stopped climbing. The end. Thank you for sharing this time with me, and I'll read to you again soon. Bye.